Hey guys, this is Travis from the Third Gear Speed Shop, and I'm going to do this little series on detailing the Flathead V8. So I won't get into the history of the Flathead V8 too much, but I do know that there are a couple different versions that are available in kits. This one happens to be the 37 Ford from the Revell 37 Ford pickup truck, and that kit is especially cool because it has some speed parts. It has finned heads. It's got a aftermarket intake. I think it's a dual carb intake. It's got some cool headers, but I'm just using the stock parts for this particular build. And as I showed you in my previous video, I made my own headers. But anyway, on the 37, the water ports for the radiator hoses are in the middle of the heads. On the 34s, they are in the front of the heads. So pretty much everything else is pretty much the same. I like Revell's flatheads just because they have a lot better detail. If you'll notice in the front, these two circles right here are where the water pumps will go, and that's on a water pump. There's two pulleys that go here and here. And in the kit, it's a water pump assembly like this. And in another video, I'll show you how to make some belts that are not quite so thick and that look a little bit more realistic. So that's going to be a different video. Just kind of giving you an overview of the engine and what to look for. These are the lower radiator hoses. And I just bend mine up with evergreen rod. It really depends on where the engine is sitting in the frame in relation to the radiator, how you're going to detail that. So sometimes they just go straight, sometimes you have to jog them up like this, and then again sometimes they actually jog down. So it just depends on where the bottom of the radiator lines up to the bottom of your water hoses. So there's two water hoses per side, so 4 in total. Tonight we're going to be working on the starter. I'm going to this is where the starter goes. I'm going to drill a hole right there, and I will show you what I've done so far. Let's see. So this is the starter. If you can see that, try to hold it with the pliers to give you a better idea of what it looks like. And for some reason, if your kit is missing a starter or whatever, you could always scratch build one. They're pretty easy. They're just basic cylinders. And what I did was put a little piece of styrene rod in the hole in the back of it, and then we're going to drill a hole in the side of the block where it goes. So we're going to drill a hole right there and just slide the starter in there. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Like I showed you before in the previous video, I've already done the radiator hoses, but I'd have drilled, and you've got to be careful that you don't drill the sidewalls bust out, but I did drill a hole in the heads. In a later video we'll be wiring it. The distributor goes right here. In this spot right here, it's driven off the cam. So the distributor and magneto are one unit, and they're driven off the cam, and then that sends a spark to the holes, to the spark plugs. And we're going to drill in a later video. We're going to drill places for the plugs right here. Detailing the flathead is pretty straightforward, pretty easy, and lots of fun. So they're pretty basic little engines, and you can do extra stuff like I did back here with the shifter. If that's going to be visible, most cars will have some sort of cover over this, and you wouldn't really see that. But since I cut a hole in my toe board and you're going to see it, then I just went the extra mile and made like a little shifter, a place for the shifter to go. So I'm gonna pause it here, and then actually before I do, just to show you guys one little tip that I do. I've got this little gauge, so anytime I'm drilling a hole and I have my piece of rod, I just take the rod that I'm going to be using, find the hole that it goes into, like this one, and then I keep all my drill bits in a little plastic sleeve like this. However you carry around your drill bits, organize them or whatever. I'll pull out my drill bit, and then I will find the proper one that goes in it. It looks like it may be, looks like I might have to go down one. But anyway, that's just kind of a cool little way to make sure you're drilling the right hole. So I need to find one that goes into that hole right there, drill bit, and then I'll drill it, and we'll put in our starter. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back, and I drilled my hole right here. And so now all we have to do is take our starter. I can get that in the camera, and just slide our starter down into that hole. And once I glue it for real, I could sort of position it where I want. It's not an exact fit now, but so anyway, so we got our starter in, and it's not glued in. I'll glue it in after it's painted. So basically what I wanted to do was get everything on the block that needed to be on the block, test fit and everything, before I painted it. I guess I could have done that after paint, but just kind of showing you guys what it looks like before painting. And so what I'm going to do in the next video, this will be painted, and then we'll proceed with the rest of the stuff we're going to do to it. The intake will sit right here, and that will probably be like an aluminum color. I'm on the fence about whether to paint the block green or red. Typically, I think from the factory they came kind of an army green color, kind of. But I've also seen some guys paint them red and black. So still on the fence about what color I'm going to paint it, but that's the intake that's going to go on it. And then the fuel filter and fuel pump will go down into this hole. And in a later video, like I said, we'll wire it up, and then put our carb on, do our pulleys, and I'll show you guys how to do the custom belts. And that should be about it. I don't know if I'm going to be running a fan on this engine or not, but I'll show you where it goes in case you wanted to run one. You really should run one, but on this dirt track jalopy, sometimes they didn't run fans. So anyway, thanks for watching this first video, and stay tuned for more how-to videos on detailing a flathead. Thanks for watching, guys.